Kazakhstan has 12 national parks, 10 sanctuaries, 50 game reserves, 26 natural landmarks, and all of them are worth seeing. Watch the program Nature's Kingdom and enjoy the beauty of wild nature. Northern Kazakhstan. These are spacious steppes, and the green Burabai or Borovoye resort, which is also called Kazakhstan Switzerland, are large cultivated fields and remains of relict forests that used to cover Kazakhstan's territory at some point in time. The pines here never grow tall. Instead, they form a rare forest with an underbush. These forests and hills protect the fields from the dry summer winds and collect layers of snow in the winter. The Akmola region is located in the western part of Kazakhstan, between the Ulutau Mountains in the southwest and Kokshetau Heights in the north. The central part of the Akmola region is crossed by the Ishim River Valley and makes a sharp turn northbound at the western border of the region. The landscape of the Akmola region can be conditionally divided into three parts: the flat northwestern, hilly southwestern, and eastern elevated part of Kazakhstan. The northwestern part, which is adjacent to the Ishim River Valley in the section where it turns north, is a plateau divided up by dry gullies and narrows. The southwestern part of the region has flatlands with multiple flat-topped hills rising above it. There are also many small lakes here. Some time ago, the mountainous eastern part, leveled by destructive forces, turned into a hillocky area. The climate in this area is extremely continental due to its inland location and remoteness from the softening impact of oceans and seas. Throughout the year, this area has mostly continental polar air. The hot and dry summer is replaced by cold winter with relatively little snow. Indeed, the citizens of Astana, Kazakhstan's capital city, are not spoiled by a soft climate and long summer. So everyone who lives in the north and loves outdoor recreation and fishing has a set of warm clothes and shoes suitable for trips to the banks of the rivers and lakes, to the forests and the open steppes. Many citizens spend their weekends on the banks of the Ishim River. Some people go to the river with fishing gear, while others bring their cameras. All return home with their trophies, some with their catch and others with photos, and all of them with great memories. Wheat is cultivated in these boundless territories, and then when the wheat harvest is gathered, the geese come here. The migration path of geese is a short trip over the land of northern Kazakhstan in spring and 2 months of fat gaining in the fall. Usually the geese fly at big heights, and at nights for the winter season and nesting, they move quite fast and cover big distances, and such long flights require good preparation. The geese live in couples and get together in large flocks only for the long-distance flights. These birds live on the meadows and swampy areas. Some live on the seashores, and they can run and fly fast, but they're poor swimmers and dive much worse than ducks, and therefore stay in the water much less than ducks or swans. Most of their time the geese prefer to spend on land, where females lay 6 to 12 eggs. The males never participate in the rearing, but take a role as guards. And when little chicks come out, they always stay near their family. The geese have almost completely a plant-based diet. They mostly feed on green parts of plants and seeds. Using their beak with tiny sharp teeth on the edges, they graze on grass, crops, cabbage, tear leaves, berries, pods, and weed heads. Besides the plants, some geese species can also feed on small vertebrates and insects. So the harvested wheat fields of the Akmola region are a real 5-star resort for them. The land that is still called the Virgin Land provides the geese with lots of food. On the wheat fields, the birds feed purely on crops and gain up to a centimeter of subcutaneous and inner fat with the need for long flights to the warmer countries. And if we take into account the low population density, large number of bodies of water, and active nature protection measures, then it becomes clear why the geese spend their fall vacation here before flying to another continent. Some time ago, this area was a virgin land, and people tilled it to grow wheat. Towns and cities appeared on this territory, and Kazakhstan's capital was moved here from Almaty. This was the birth of Astana. Ishim, on the banks of which the city is based, flows northwest, passing the settlements of Novoishimsky, Kyma, Ishimska, Konovalovka, and makes a sharp turn north near Dzержинsk. The river then flows onto Yesil, Marievka, Nikolaevka, and Yavlenka. The river Ishim takes its start in the Niyaz Mountains, where it forms on the northern slopes of the Kazakh hillocky area. In the very beginning, the current is fast, cutting its way through a narrow valley between rocky shores covered in bushes. The hillocky area is a remnant of the folded mountains that used to exist here. Now these are flattened out hills spreading for tens of kilometers. This is what time does to the hardest rocks, cutting out mountains in the landscape, flattening them, turning rocks to sand, mercilessly spreading the dust of centuries throughout the steppes. The river Ishim is 2,450 kilometers long, and speaking scientifically, it is the world's largest second-grade feeder. Around 100 more kilometers from here, and the river crosses the border between Kazakhstan and Russia. Downstream, the Ishim flows through a taiga. The more to the north, the more the birch groves get replaced by mixed forests, with slim pines and strong fir trees stand, where you can see cedars, silver firs, and larches. The river enters a swampy land with low, thin, and crooked birches and pines. Finally, Ishim meets another wider and deeper river, Irtysh. And we're going to stay in Kazakhstan, where the geese hunting season is about to start. Any hunter will admit that the geese are the #1 of the wildfowl birds because of their taste, and it's not easy to get such a trophy. Geese hunting is allowed in the fall during their long flights. The most common hunting method is ambushing during their flight from a place of feeding to the resting area. In the morning, they fly off from the water to feed at the harvested fields, and they usually get back in a couple of hours to the place where they had just rested. In the afternoon, the birds again fly out to feed and return only after sunset. The swans in this area are attracted by the multiple bodies of water. These majestic birds can be seen here during the period of nesting and bringing up their goslings, starting from May until the end of September. For the winter season, they fly away to the warmer countries, Korea and China, or they might stay in Altai on the lakes that never freeze. But sometimes these gorgeous birds stay in the Akmala region until late fall, and at times they get trapped in the ice and the water, and this is when people come to their aid. The swan's feathers can be white, gray, or black. Swans are larger than geese. These birds are differentiated by their gracious long necks, which allow them to get food in the water. It's hard to tell the males from the females. Their wing spread can reach 2 meters, and they may weigh over 15 kilograms. On the ground, the swans look awkward because of their short legs, but their well-developed flying muscles allow them to cover thousands of kilometers during their flight to the south and back. When on water, these birds are truly beautiful and gracious. Swans represent beauty and harmony, nobleness and loyalty. People dedicate entire poems and songs to them. The swans are also heroes of many fairy tales. In many places of the world, these animals are protected. The swan is the national bird of Finland. The mute swan is the national bird of Denmark. The black swan is used as an emblem of Western Australia, and in Great Britain, the Queen herself owns some of mute swans. Swans are considered to be a symbol of Martin Luther. They can often be seen in Lutheran art, on worship books, and in sculpture decorations. They can also be seen on top of some of Lutheran churches. All swans, regardless of their type and color, have baby swans that look alike and hatch gray. Their giant nests are up to 3 meters in diameter and 80 centimeters tall. The birds make them using grass and cane stalks. The young ones in the nest are protected from small predators, which can destroy unguarded nests and kill the offspring who are unable to fly yet. From the very first days of their lives, a well-developed swan can accompany its parents in search for food. It can fly only after its first molt, when it gets covered by the feathers. When it comes to fishing, Ishim has pikes, roach, ruff, skimmers, crucian carps, perch, bream, burbot, tench, carp, vendis, and nerfling. Crawfish can also be found in some parts of the Ishim. The fall fishing for predators is a fascinating thing. The distinctive feature of fishing for pike is their great appetite and quite active biting. In early fall and with the first frost, all smaller fish moves away from the banks area and the predators follow their prey. Hence it makes no sense to fish on the large bodies of water from their banks. You will need a boat in this case. Nevertheless, fishing is possible in narrow places when using the spinning reel.
Ну и, конечно, нет ничего лучше на природе, чем приготовить свежепойманную рыбу.
Of course, the best thing out in nature is preparing the fish that you just caught. We caught several pikes, and now they're on the frying pan. It will be a great lunch, and Fido tea will be a great addition to it. We say this lunch is what nature gave us. There are rose hip growing along the banks. We gathered a small amount because we forgot to bring regular tea with us. So this is what we'll use to make the tea, and it will be good and tasty. Therefore, in northern Kazakhstan, you can have it all. Hunting, fishing, and enjoying nature. All you need is to protect your body from the cold and the wind which blows throughout this land, and a great time is guaranteed. In general, the Akmola region is located on a territory that is extremely suitable for the tourism business. With its unique natural and climate conditions and the beautiful landscape, it can compete with the most well-known resorts. This area has national parks such as Burabay, Kokshetau, as well as the Korgalzhe Sanctuary, which is of international importance and is one of the most unique places across the entire Eurasian continent. The Shuchinsk-Borovoy Resort area has excellent natural and climatic conditions, rich medicinal and recreational resources, an ancient history, and a convenient geographic location in the very center of Kazakhstan and near Kazakhstan's capital of Astana. In the future, it promises to become the largest modern tourism center of Eurasia. The plan is to build here facilities for business, social and cultural, scientific and educational, and entertainment purposes. In general, this region has great potential for attracting investments for the development of the region's economy, including international tourism business.